I found out my boyfriend was cheating because he accidentally sent me a screenshot of my own texts, captioned, "She's getting suspicious." So I faked a proposal dinner and let his mom open the envelope. He sent me a screenshot of my own texts. It popped up in our shared photo album. He didn't even realize it auto-uploaded. Just a screen grab of my messages asking, "What time are we meeting your mom?" And right above it, his caption, "She's getting suspicious." I stood in our kitchen holding my phone like it had just grown teeth and bitten me. We'd been together for 3 years. His name's Tyler, 32, and I used to describe him as the safe guy. The one you meet after the chaos of your 20s, who shows up on time, folds his laundry, and remembers your coffee order. I'm Rachel, 28, graphic designer, introvert, sometimes too forgiving. Tyler was the calm after my storm. He met my family. He helped me repaint my bedroom when I was spiraling after a job loss. He cried when my dad died. I trusted him so deeply that when my friends would side-eye his late nights or how he never posted me online, I'd defend him. He's just private. He's just not into social media. He's not like that. But that text, "She's getting suspicious." Suspicious of what, Tyler? My stomach turned, and my brain clicked into this hyper-aware mode. I started replaying every weird moment I'd brushed off. Him showering right when he got home. His sudden new password on his phone. The way he kept deflecting any talk about getting engaged even though he was the one who brought it up a year ago. He even had me Pinterest ring styles. Was that part of the act? I didn't confront him, not yet. I let him walk in that night all casual with his, "Hey babe, what's for dinner?" I let him kiss my cheek. I handed him a plate like I wasn't breaking inside. But I was watching. Every blink, every flick of his eyes to his phone. He kept it face down. Always face down. Over the next week, I went full private investigator. I didn't need a PI. I had pattern recognition and pain. The combination of betrayal and rage sharpens your instincts like nothing else. I started checking timestamps, noticing which coworkers he mentioned repeatedly. I even waited until he was asleep and lifted his fingerprint to get into his phone. Her name was Lauren. I found a saved photo of her in lingerie labeled Wednesday. I found a dinner reservation the night I thought he was working late. I found voice memos. Voice memos. Like he was podcasting his infidelity. One said, "She asked if I wanted her mom to come to the proposal dinner." I almost laughed. Proposal dinner. The one I'd been hinting at for weeks. I thought he was planning something. I even told my best friend Casey. I had a feeling he was going to pop the question soon. She'd cried on the phone, saying, "It's finally happening for you." She didn't know I'd be the punchline. So here's what I did. I didn't scream. I didn't pack a bag. I didn't let him know I knew. Instead, I started planning the most romantic fake proposal dinner I could imagine. The works. Private room at his favorite steakhouse. Candlelight. Champagne. His mom, who adored me, invited personally. And an envelope. A single, unassuming white envelope that I handed to her, sealed, with "Open me at dessert," written in silver calligraphy. Inside was a printed copy of the screenshot. "She's getting suspicious." Next to it, a photo of him and Lauren. And underneath, a note in my handwriting. "You raised a liar. I was supposed to be your daughter-in-law. Now you know why I won't be." I watched the light drain from his mother's face as she read it. And that was just the beginning. I think the moment Tyler realized something was off was when his mom clutched her chest. We were mid-toast. His aunt had just raised her glass and said something about soon-to-be engagements and new beginnings. Tyler looked smug, like the king of secrets. I'd even caught him slipping his hand into his blazer pocket earlier, like he really brought a ring. Theater, right? But when his mom opened the envelope, everything stopped. She didn't say a word at first, just stared. Her fork slipped from her hand. Then she looked at me, then back at Tyler. And her face. God, her face. Like someone had set off a grenade in her chest. Her lips started trembling. "Tyler," she said slowly, "what is this?" He blinked, confused, still smiling. "What is what?" I leaned back in my chair, wine glass in hand, and said quietly, "You sent me that screenshot. Remember? The one where you said, 'She's getting suspicious'?" His face drained white, like someone had pulled the blood straight out of him. It was dead silent. No one moved. Even the server froze mid-step with a tray of creme brulee. His mom was the first to break. "Is this true?" she asked him, voice shaking. "Who is this girl? What the hell is this?" He stuttered. Actually stuttered. It's not what it looks like, Mom." Rachel, I can explain. I stood up. Calm, controlled, nuclear. You can't even keep track of your lies, Tyler. You thought you sent that screenshot to your little side project? You accidentally sent it to me. And instead of owning it, you kept pretending, planning even. I figured if I was going to be humiliated, I'd do it in style. And then I smiled. I thought you deserved to be humiliated too. The tension cracked. His aunt gasped. His mom stood up so fast her chair scraped the floor. Tyler just broke. He slammed his hand on the table. What the fuck is wrong with you? You could have just talked to me. That did it. I laughed. Out loud. Laughed so hard it echoed. Talk to you? You were talking to Lauren. You were calling me suspicious while cheating on me and planning a fake engagement like I'm some dumbass placeholder. He stepped toward me, fists clenched. You ruined this whole night. My family is here. I didn't flinch. So is mine. And guess what? They already know. I sent them the screenshots last week. Ask your sister what she thinks of you now. He was shaking, rage in his jaw. I swear if we weren't in public, he might have swung at a chair. But it was his mother who stole the spotlight. She slapped him. Not a little tap. A full, stinging, cheek-rattling slap that made everyone gasp. Even I flinched. You humiliated her. And you humiliated me, she hissed. You don't bring someone into our family just to treat them like trash. Tyler looked like a broken marionette. Red cheek, lips parted, no words. I left him standing there in a room full of people who now saw the real him. I didn't cry, I didn't run. I just walked out, head high. And as I pushed open the restaurant doors, the air hit me like freedom. But it wasn't over. Oh no. Tyler wasn't the kind of man to take public shame quietly. And what came next was worse than I expected. 3 days. That's how long it took before Tyler lost his mind. First came the texts. Dozens of them. Apologies, excuses, even threats. He pinged every app. Instagram DMs, WhatsApp, emails. I blocked him on everything. Then he started messaging my friends. Casey got a 3 a.m. voicemail of him crying, saying he wasn't thinking clearly, that I blew things out of proportion, and ruined his life over a misunderstanding. He told her he was suicidal, but she didn't buy it. Tyler weaponized guilt like a pro. Then came the packages. Day 4, I opened my door to find a box from that overpriced jewelry brand I used to screenshot on Pinterest. Inside was a ring. Not the one we looked at together. Oh no. This one was flashy, tacky, completely wrong. The note read, "We were meant to be. Don't let one mistake erase 3 years." I laughed out loud. One mistake? He was mapping dates with Lauren while telling me we'd grow old together. He'd gone to her brother's wedding the same weekend he told me he had a work retreat. I knew because he used the same hotel points I had access to. I'd checked the statement. He wasn't sorry. He was exposed. And now he was unraveling. Day 6, I caught him parked outside my apartment. Just sitting there. Windows down, music off, staring at my building like a ghost. I called the cops. They gave him a warning. Said if he came back again, he'd be facing trespassing charges. He came back the next day. This time he brought back up his mom. I heard the knock, opened the door, and there she was. Same woman who slapped him in front of 20 people, now standing on my porch looking wrecked. Hair unbrushed, no makeup, eyes puffy. "I'm so sorry," she said. "Rachel, please, can we talk?" Tyler stood behind her, silent, arms crossed. I let her in. Not him. She sat on my couch like she was sitting on hot coals. Apologized over and over. Said she raised him better. Said she didn't know he was capable of this. Then she pulled out an envelope. No joke, another envelope, and handed it to me. "I think you deserve to see this." Inside, letters. Dozens of them. All from Tyler to Lauren. All printed out from emails. All dated the entire time we were together. She had found them while cleaning out his room, apparently trying to remove anything that might remind her of the good son she thought she raised. And one line stuck with me, burned into my brain. "I know she suspects something, but I need more time. Once my mom's on board, I can finally make the switch." The switch. Like I was a lease he was breaking. I looked up at his mom and said, "He's a coward, and I'm done." She nodded, stood, and hugged me. Whispered, "I'm sorry he did this. If you ever need anything, you call me." Then she turned around and said to her son, "You're on your own, Tyler," and left. Tyler didn't scream, didn't cry, but the look on his face when his mom walked away, that was the first time I saw the cracks. The real cracks. But he still wasn't finished. Not by a long shot. He still had my spare key. And the night he used it, that's when things turned dangerous. It was 2 in the morning when I woke up to the sound of shattering glass. My heart slammed into my ribs like a fist. I sat up, eyes straining in the dark. The back door, the one I thought was locked, was wide open. Shards of glass glittered on the hardwood like a bad joke. I grabbed my phone, thumb trembling as I dialed 911. There was someone in my apartment. Before the operator could even finish asking if I was safe, the lights flicked on. Tyler stood there, wild-eyed, breathing hard like he'd run a marathon. His shirt was torn at the sleeve, scratches on his forearms. "You left me no choice," he spat. I barely recognized the man in front of me. The guy who once held my hand during my father's funeral was gone. In his place was a desperate, dangerous stranger. I backed away, heart racing. "Get out, now." He took a step forward. "You think you can just throw me away? Humiliate me and walk away?" I screamed. "Get out!" He lunged, just a blur. I barely dodged, feeling the rush of air as his fingers grazed my arm. The glass vase on the side table shattered under his fist, water spilling everywhere. The 911 operator was still on the line, her voice urgent. Tyler screamed, "You're mine. Always were." That's when the noise started. The crash of furniture, the sickening rip of my favorite throw pillow torn apart. The walls echoed with the chaos of a nightmare come alive. Suddenly, my phone slipped from my hand, cracking the screen. Tyler grabbed it, smashing it on the floor. I stumbled back, grabbing my coat off the hook. "Don't you dare call the cops," he snarled, "or you'll regret it." But I had already hit the emergency button on my smartwatch. The seconds stretched, heavy and thick. Sirens wailed in the distance. Tyler panicked, his eyes darting like a trapped animal's. He shoved a chair against the door, panting, but the police were moments away. When the officers burst in, he was caught mid-rage, face flushed, hands trembling. They arrested him for breaking and entering, destruction of property, and harassment. As they led him away, he locked eyes with me one last time. It wasn't anger anymore. It was brokenness. That night, I sat in the dark, shaking, my favorite throw pillow ruined, the smell of shattered glass thick in the air. But I felt something else. Free. The nightmare was finally over. At least, I hoped. But the fallout was just beginning. Update 1. Hey Reddit, I'm back. Still shaking, but finally sitting down to share what's happened since Tyler's little midnight meltdown. First off, thank you to everyone who messaged with support, wild theories, and advice. Some of you said, burn the house down, no question. Honestly, tempting. Not gonna lie, but I didn't. Instead, I cleaned up the glass shards and changed every lock in the house. Took 0 chances. The cops arrested Tyler that night, but here's the kicker. He got bailed out by his mom the very next morning. Yeah, the same woman who slapped him in front of the restaurant crowd is now suddenly his knight in shining armor again. I swear, family loyalty is a messy business. She showed up at my door 2 days later, acting like she wanted a truce. I told her thanks, but no thanks. She looked so deflated, like a popped balloon. Part of me felt sorry, but most of me was just numb. And Tyler? He's been texting nonstop. I blocked and muted, but my phone kept lighting up with, "Please talk. I'm sorry. It won't happen again." Spoiler, it will. People don't change overnight. Especially not this guy. I also got a few DMS from strangers who've been through something similar. Cheated on, gaslit, and then terrorized. Reading your stories helped. Made me realize I'm not alone in this madness. One commenter called Tyler a psychological arsonist. That's exactly right. Work's been a refuge, but even there I catch myself flinching at every notification, wondering if it's him somehow finding a way in. The real shocker came last night. Tyler's mom showed up again, only this time she brought him. They knocked on my door at 10 p.m., unannounced. My heart was racing. I almost didn't answer. Her voice was shaky. "Rachel, we just want to talk." He looked like he hadn't slept in days, his eyes hollow, a shadow of the man I knew. I kept the door cracked. Tyler blurted out, "I want to fix this. I'm a mess, but I love you." I shut the door in their faces, because love isn't supposed to feel like a threat. So, yeah, this is getting bigger and uglier than I ever imagined. But now that I have the upper hand, I'm not backing down. Next up, I'm planning something big. Something that'll make Tyler think twice before he ever tries to play me again. Stay tuned. All right, buckle up, because this is where I started flipping the script on Tyler in a way he never saw coming. After that terrifying break-in, I wasn't about to let him keep gaslighting me or trying to worm his way back into my life. So, I cooked up a plan. Not some petty revenge, but a damn performance. Something that would expose him fully and leave no room for doubt. I told him I was finally ready to accept his proposal. Yeah, the same proposal he was probably never planning to make to me in good faith. I set the date for the dinner at the same steakhouse. Private room, candles, music playing softly in the background. But this time it was my stage. The invite list was limited. Just Tyler, his mom, and his closest family. Plus me and my best friend Casey, who'd been my rock throughout this mess. I let Tyler believe this was his moment to redeem himself. I spent the day crafting an envelope that looked innocent but was anything but. Inside were all the receipts, texts, screenshots, and photos I'd collected. The evidence of his lies, the plans to cheat, the "she's getting suspicious" screenshot he accidentally sent me. But the real kicker? I wrote a letter addressed to his mom. I gave it to her to open during dinner, right before dessert. The letter spilled everything. How he'd lied to her face, cheated on me while making plans for a fake engagement, and even how he tried to gaslight me after getting caught. His mom's reaction was priceless. She went pale, and her hands started to tremble as she read. Then came the anger. A volcanic eruption right there in that dimly lit room. Tyler started sputtering, trying to explain, to excuse, to salvage something, but his voice cracked under the weight of truth. His mom looked at him and said, "I raised a liar and a coward." She stood up furious and threw the envelope on the table. "I don't want to see your face again." And then the most satisfying part? Tyler's sister, who'd been watching silently, stood up, pulled out her phone, and started recording. "Mom, he needs to hear this," she said flatly. She played the letter aloud, emphasizing every betrayal. Tyler looked like a man buried alive under the rubble of his own deception. Then Casey and I quietly slipped out, leaving him to the wreckage. The fallout wasn't just emotional. Within 24 hours, his job found out, because his sister posted the video on social media. His company is investigating him for unprofessional behavior. His mom cut him off completely. And I felt like a weight lifted off my chest. It wasn't about revenge, it was about reclaiming my power and letting him drown in the mess he made. Tyler's meltdown after the dinner was something straight out of a horror movie. I didn't hear from him directly after the video went viral, probably because everyone he knows was watching it on loop. But that silence? It was the calm before the storm. 2 days later, my car tires were slashed. Not one, not two, all four. I found the keys in the mailbox, covered in a thin layer of black spray paint. There was a note stuck under the windshield wiper. "Next time, watch your back." I called the cops again. They took the report but said evidence was slim. Tyler had no alibi but no proof either. Then came the texts. From unknown numbers, my phone buzzed with threats. "You'll regret this. I'm coming for you." And worst of all, a video of him standing outside my apartment late at night, holding a knife. I changed my locks again, installed security cameras, even started carrying pepper spray everywhere. But the real nightmare? Tyler started showing up at work, the small graphic design studio where I'd poured my heart into building my career. He waited by the parking lot, lurking, trying to intimidate me. One day, he stepped into the office uninvited. His face was a mix of anger and desperation. "Why won't you just talk to me? Why are you destroying my life?" I looked at him, really looked, and saw the man I used to love replaced by a man I didn't recognize. That day I lost it. I grabbed the nearest object, a heavy sketchbook, and threw it across the room. It slammed into the wall behind him. His eyes widened and he stumbled back, hands raised like he was surrendering. "I'm done," I said. "I'm done with your games. Stay away from me." The police were called again. This time, a restraining order was served. Tyler's world collapsed. But as terrifying as the chaos was, I felt stronger. Every shattered tire, every threat only fueled my fire. I wasn't going to be a victim. I was fighting back, and I was winning. Update 2. Hey everyone, it's me again. Back with an update that's been a roller coaster of emotions. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I'd get through this last part without breaking down or losing my mind, but here we are. After the restraining order, Tyler spiraled faster than I ever expected. The threats slowed down, but never completely stopped. He showed up at my work twice more before security finally stepped in full-time. I even had to move apartments. Felt like I was running for my life in my own city. Here's the wild part. His mom? She completely vanished. No calls, no texts, nothing. I guess even she couldn't handle his meltdown. Felt like a punch in the gut after how she'd stormed in that night at the restaurant and then turned around and bailed on me when it counted. On the flip side, my friends and family have been my fortress. Casey's practically my shadow, and my boss gave me flexible hours to handle everything. Honestly, the support is what saved me. I've also gotten some really unexpected messages from strangers sharing their own stories of betrayal and survival. Some even sent me photos of their own revenge moments. One person joked, "You should make a movie, The Proposal Revenge." Honestly, maybe I should. As for Tyler, I heard through the grapevine that his company fired him and he's officially cut off by his family. The public humiliation really sank in. But here's the kicker. The best revenge was never public. It was taking back my life, my peace, and my power. I'm finally sleeping again. I'm finally laughing again. And the best part? I don't have to look over my shoulder anymore. So if you're out there feeling trapped or betrayed, just know the chaos will pass. The scars might stay, but so will your strength. Thanks for reading. And if you want, I can share how I started rebuilding my life after all this. It's been a few months since the dust settled, and honestly, it feels surreal to say that. After everything with Tyler, his lies, the public meltdown, the threats, I'm finally starting to breathe again. The nightmares have stopped. The constant checking of the locks is a habit I'm working to shake. But more importantly, I'm reclaiming who I am. I moved into a new apartment, a cozy space with sunlight pouring in through huge windows. No shattered glass, no threatening notes, just quiet. It's the first home I've truly felt safe in for a long time. Work has been my anchor. I dove into new projects, taking on clients who respect my talent and treat me with kindness. I even started mentoring younger designers, sharing what I've learned, not just about art, but about standing up for yourself. Social media? I deleted Tyler from everywhere, but I also deleted a lot of old posts. Pictures, memories, the versions of me who thought love was enough to fix everything. It was like shedding a second skin. Casey, my best friend, has been my rock through it all. We take long walks, binge bad TV, and plan future trips. She keeps reminding me I deserve better, and slowly I'm starting to believe her. Therapy has been a game changer. Sitting with a professional, unpacking all the layers of betrayal and fear, has helped me untangle the mess Tyler left inside me. I'm learning boundaries, self-love, and that sometimes people don't change. And that's not my fault. I still get the occasional panic when my phone buzzes late at night, but I'm working on it. I'm rebuilding my life piece by piece, and each day feels a little lighter. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm hopeful. For the first time in a long time, I'm excited about what's ahead, not terrified. Tyler was a chapter, a brutal one, but not my whole story. This is me moving forward. The last time I heard from Tyler was 3 weeks ago. A message from an unknown number. "I'm sorry. I hope you find peace." I didn't respond. I deleted the message. It felt like the closing punctuation on a sentence I never wanted to write. Since then, life has been quiet. The silence doesn't sting anymore. It soothes. I've started dating again, cautiously, like a cat stepping into a sunny patch after a long winter. No rush, no desperation. Just curiosity about what could be. Friends have been rallying around me, reminding me I'm lovable, worthy, whole. Their kindness stitches up the ragged edges Tyler left behind. Every morning, I light a candle by the window. Something small, a ritual for hope. Sometimes I catch my reflection and see a woman who's been bruised but never broken. I'm not the girl who got sent a screenshot by her cheating boyfriend anymore. I'm Rachel, strong, scarred, and ready for the next chapter. Because no matter how dark the story gets, there's always a dawn. And this dawn is mine.